For today's CyberCEO episode,
it compounds. Just in the way that, again, you think it's going to be this small part of the business. So you think you're going to get back 5 hours, and then you end up getting back 7. When you get that time back, you add more work. So I'm able to do more. I don't go on vacation with the extra time. I get back into the office with the extra time. So, it adds more to the business. She's able to do more on her side because, she's already so good that she's taking a 7-hour process down to a 3-hour process. Now in those 7 hours, she can do more. Now, instead of 7 hours back, I have 10 hours back. And just you can fill her role, and just once her role is maximized to gain additional time, we see the opportunity to get another Cyberbacker. You end up realizing how much more you can expand by having this person in your world. So, it's just been tremendous.
welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our Cyberbackers helped our CyberCEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details.
Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Orlando, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for coming back to the show. We really, really appreciate your time. Now, what we wanted to do was just to talk to you more about your experience with Cyberbacker. So to kick things off, how long have you been partnered with Cyberbacker?
We're approaching a year. We haven't crossed that mark. Probably next month will be a year.
Wow, exciting stuff. Again, going on your first year with Cyberbacker. Now, before we dive into that, I want to know more about how you learned about virtual leverage in general. Who told you about virtual leverage, or how were you introduced to the idea of partnering with someone virtual?
Sure. There's a real estate team out of Alaska that I really admire, Ed and Dar Walden. And they were talking about just the way that they had their business structured. And it was around the time that I knew I needed some sort of help with a business that I was adding to my existing purchase and sale business.
Yeah.
And when they mentioned Cyberbacker and just the way that they talked about it, I knew that was going to be, immediately once I left that room, I sent an email or gave a call. I needed to start that process.
There we go. But before you were introduced to Cyberbacker, what were your initial thoughts or initial feelings about virtual leverage in general anyway?
I didn't think it would be as good as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you say a virtual assistant, I think the first thing that comes to mind is like a computer generated, basically like an AI machine like you would see in a movie with limited responses and things like that. And then when you hear it's a human, you think, okay, so maybe you'll get additional help. You don't think it's going to be quite as in depth. It doesn't feel like you're going to get a full on admin and then surprise.
Gosh, there we go. And now talk to me more then about your Cyberbacker habit. What's it like working with her, being partnered with her?
Sure. Well, I was, when I first started this rental side of the business that I have, just picking up the phones. So I already have, more than full-time jobs, business owner for a real estate business. So working with purchase and sale clients, lead generating. Now I have a team, so I understand leverage because I have admins who work on that side, ordering termite, ordering title, ordering signs and lock boxes and all the different things that they do. But I had none of that for the rental business when it first started. So I was answering calls, ordering signs, ordering lock boxes, doing everything. So from the time I got a home and I knew I was going to be needing to lease it, I was doing everything from start to finish. And that would take away from my purchase and sale business. So I was just sacrificing time from one business to focus on another. It was still profitable, but I knew I could gain so much more if they were just pieces of the business, especially pieces that I'm not particularly good at. that someone else could be doing. And man, so my cyberbacker is Abby. And I mean, just from the day that she stepped in, I mean, she picked up everything so much faster than I thought. You know, I don't feel like I do the greatest job of explaining. I think my strength would be patience. because I know that I would need patience if I were responsible for trading myself. So, but I mean, just didn't need it with her. Just understood everything so quickly and really eliminated redundancies. You know, I would take something from A to B to C, and she would realize, hey, you know, we can go from A directly to C, and I mean, just save so much time and just cut down on how massive that job was, all the administrative work, dealing with the other clients that would come in, ordering all the things that needed to be ordered, all the additional communication, just cut down so much time and just did a much better job than I can do.
So basically, what she helped you out mostly then is just to give you more time to focus on things that matter the most to the businesses then. Am I right?
That's exactly right.
Gosh. Now, talk to me more about that, though, about the things that she does for you in the business. What else are you planning to let her do, let's say within the next couple of months from today? Do you plan on letting her do, let her do any new tasks in the future?
Sure. And, you know, when you first start out, you think you need certain things, and you envision the business going, you know, just going a certain way. You say, these are the jobs that I need taken care of. But then you get just the right person. The right person's in place. You realize, I mean, they're done with the job quicker than you thought. So then, we already incorporated, I didn't originally plan for her to have MLS access, but just granted her MLS access. And then she was responsible for changing statuses. She became responsible for, I had the team admin from purchase and sale, just relaying information back and forth to both the client and to a sign runner. And I mean, just Abby has stepped in and taken care of all of that. And she started to create systems. So I noticed when people would ask certain questions or at certain steps of the process, she would send the same email, the same format, the same font, the same words every time. And I realized, oh, she's building systems around everything that we're doing. So a lot of the skills and the things that she's done will translate into the purchase and sale side. And in the near future, we're probably going to have some opportunity for her to do that as well, or maybe transition her entire role if she'd like to something a little bit bigger.
That's going to be very exciting. Of course, transitioning her to do more tasks to help out with the business. There's going to be more opportunities for it to grow for sure right there. Now, talk to me more about her then. Talk to me more about Abby, your cyberbacker. Just go back to, let's say, the hiring process. So you had to go through interviews. You had to communicate with cyberbacker mainly. So what was it about Abby that made you want to say, hey, I want to partner with that cyberbacker?
Yeah. So, coincidentally, she was the very first interview. So I was like, if they're all going to go like this is going to be a tough choice. But she actually stood out. Just above everyone else. The interview process went a little faster than I thought. So that day, I just remember needing to take like the 10 questions that I had and cut it down to what are the most important 2 or 3 questions, because that's about what you'll have the time for. Because you have a day's worth of interviews that, it's awesome. I didn't need to go find potential interviewees myself. I didn't need to do any of that. I just showed up for the interview knowing the questions that I needed to ask. And it's basically a full day of interviews cut down to about an hour. So, I just had a few questions, and just the way that she answered the first one, if I wrote the answer myself, it would be, almost word for word. I knew immediately that she would understand just the importance of the role. Anybody can train on individual tasks, but if you understand the importance of the role, you understand that there are people who are going to be calling in that we need to care about, that we need to take care of, which he understood immediately. And you just understand customer service. You know what it's like when, if you ever had I had to make a customer service call, like maybe for cable to get turned on, for internet, for something like that. And, you know the difference between waiting on hold, talking to a machine, talking to someone who doesn't care, and then the highest level, talking to someone who understands and someone who cares. So I was just really excited as soon as I heard her answers. And the whole process was really good. There were several good candidates, but she stood out.
There we go.
Yeah.
So seems to me you've already found your perfect partner right there in 𝗙𝗵𝗋, your cyberbacker. Now, I want to know more. How did you make it successful? Because I think that's the first step. You mentioned that finding that perfect person. So you already found that in 𝗙𝗵𝗋 during the whole interview process, the whole hiring process. But now afterwards, that's where you do the heavy lifting, right? On both sides. You have to make this work. How did you and 𝗙𝗵𝗋 do it?
Sure. So, just the first thing was, asking her for feedback and letting her know that she can be honest, have some personal conversations. She knows that, like, when season 6 of Black Mirror was coming out, she picked up and called me and said, "Hey, remember that this is coming out." And just when you have that kind of relationship where you know each other, you care about each other, genuinely, this translates to the business. And again, just her knowing everything that needs to be done. At least you should be meeting with your cyberbacker weekly. I know for a lot of people it's more frequent. Just the nature of our job, we're talking back and forth all day. So I think we communicate a lot. And just, keeping a high level of communication, making sure it's okay for your business partner to say, "I think something is wrong. I think you're wrong about something. I think I messed up." Just anything, so you can start. If there's an issue, you can work towards fixing it and have quick solutions. I think it's just really important. She knows she can say, "I think this process needs to be faster. I think something we're doing, we might benefit from doing it this way or doing it that way." And most of the time, she's right. So I think that's really big. Open communication.
There we go. So clear, open communication in any partnership, may it be virtual or not. I 100% agree with you there. Very, very important. Now, one last question. It's almost going to be the first year of your partnership with Cyberbacker. What's been the biggest impact of virtual leverage?
It compounds. Just in the way that, again, you think it's going to be this small part of the business, but it ends up. So you think you're going to get back 5 hours, and then you end up getting back 7. So you turn that 7, I say there's a trap in getting leverage that people get the time back and then they take the time off. The gift of leverage is when you get that time back, you add more work. So I'm able to do more. I don't go on vacation with the extra time. I get back into the office with the extra time. So, it adds more to the business. She's able to do more on her side because, she's already so good that she's taking a 7-hour process down to a 3-hour process. Now in those 7 hours, she can do more. Now, instead of 7 hours back, I have 10 hours back, and just, you can fill her role. And just once her role is maximized, if to gain additional time, we see the opportunity to get another cyberbacker, whatever we need to do from there. You end up realizing how much more you can expand by having this person in your world. So, it's just been tremendous.
Gosh, but now imagine it's just the first year of the partnership. Imagine what you and 𝗙𝗵𝗋 could do, let's say, for another year's time, 2 years' time, of course, in the partnership. Now, of course, 𝗙𝗵𝗋's going to be able to listen and watch this once we have this uploaded. So would you want to give her a quick shout out before we say goodbye today?
Sure. 𝗙𝗵𝗋, man, I hope they keep making seasons of the show that they made in response to Game of Thrones, that additional sequel, so you can enjoy. I hope you really enjoy all of your time off and you enjoy your time with your family, because you've given that back to me, and just all the additional value that you've created for all of us here in Birmingham has been tremendous. I always know about high quality talent and just talented people, that they do more than you realize. So thank you for all the things that you do that I know about and the things that I don't know about. And I hope we continue this relationship for a very long time.
There we go. Now, we are very, very excited to see the continued success and growth of this partnership. And again, Rolando, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.